And welcome back, everyone, to our Rainbow Six broadcast for tonight. Of course, it's going to be Saints Academy versus Kennesaw State here. And of course, we're right into the maps. Looks like we're going to be opening up with Cafe, or as Jobin likes to call it, Cafe.
Yes.
Next, Clubhouse, and the decider, of course, will be Villa. So, you know what? I would say it's basically the standard. We don't even have to put the collegiate standard before this one.
Yeah, this is 3 maps. If you've played Siege for longer than any short time period, you'll know these maps. Cave, going to be a decently defensive-sided map, so I'm guessing that was going to be Kennesaw's pick. St. Clair going to opt for that defensive side. And Clubhouse, they will be attacking. Everybody knows and loves Clubhouse. And then, I will say the one thing, the Saints map of Oregon, obviously, if they have such a high win rate, it was probably never going to get through anyway. So, they're going to have to work around it. They said they're going to try to pull some stuff out of the back pocket. Not sure if any of these 3 maps were exactly those 3, because we see them so often. But nonetheless, now it'll be all about what operator choice are we going to see, and ultimately, which team with this 4-1 record will be able to take the cake here. And we are going to see the pick and ban phase coming through here. Someone possibly predicting something bad for us. We are not going to speak on that one. We're going to let that chat scroll right through, and we're going to see Nook and Jackal banned out as the first 2 choices.
Yeah, and interesting to not see the Thatcher banned out, actually. That's an interesting one to not see, but we'll see if anything different comes through from the bans. Of course, there have been a couple of changes to operators recently that may potentially switch up what we're used to seeing. I mean, we're very often going to see this Valk banned out on the defensive side as well. See if that sticks. It does seem like the Azami is going to be taken out, so a little bit of a change-up. Seems like they want to leave some of these options open for themselves.
Azami is the newest operator. From what I heard from the guys, extremely strong. She's you can throw like a portable knife that turns into a shield, and also with Thatcher, I just got word too, they added more like small impact EMP grenades to a bunch of operators, so people aren't really trying to waste that ban on Thatcher, knowing, hey, other teams are going to be able to just throw these grenades anyways. Mira, very, very common ban. Extremely cringe to play against if you ever had to deal with that. Trying to pop that little middle canister to bust a shield can be an absolute terror. But now we are getting into round 1. Saints defending on K first. Hopefully that 5th teammate is going to be back in the lobby. They are saying welcome back, so hopefully our last member will make his way back in here. I believe we are waiting on Salty Boy. We are just trying to maybe get through some crashes here. We are going to need a pause, though, unfortunately. So Ubisoft, just hit us with that pump fake hezzy. They're going to, unfortunately, at least cut us out for the time being. But, yeah, got to get out of this pick and ban phase.
Oh.
Yeah. Got to get out of the pick and ban phase here. Ubisoft is, giving us a run for our money here. But with that being said, we'll throw it to a very, very quick break. We will fix this lobby up. We will fix it. Ubisoft, please, it is late. And we had a little bit of a Ubisoft moment. As you can see on the screen, we are still in the process of hopefully the Saints getting back in, but nonetheless, not able to pause until after the round. So we are going to see a little 4v5, cheeky little 4v5 to kick things off. I would imagine Kennesaw is going to go full bore here, try to get this early aggressive, but Blunk is going to be the first one to find a frag. They're taking out Spookito. We have some lovely names on the side of Kennesaw. One thing to mention before we get going underway here.
Yeah, and you can just see how quickly they're picking up the pace here already, of course. Gone are the days of the sort of 20-second meta. Sort of moved to a little bit of a 40-second meta at that, but already Blunk, a double kill here. Already just trying to position themselves well, but Nezzy going to be cut down as well. Of course, this is a site down on that first floor, so sort of taking away some of that verticality potentially. Of course, they haven't spotted this out yet, and Blunt getting a triple kill all ready to open up this game. may not even stick at the end of it, but at the very least, it's a good sign to see them already opening up well.
Yeah, we had to give a no, even though it was a 4v5, and never tell the Saints the odds. They want to try to fight this one back. Where I say we'll have to see after this round what's going to happen. Zerky, maybe somewhere in the Ubisoft ether, they're trying to get back into this lobby. Nonetheless, though, the Saints are taking full advantage of this 4v5. They have done an excellent job, maybe playing off the aggression of Kennesaw, knowing they had the numbers advantage, but nonetheless, they are still holding on to the lead here. We have, say, the Jaeger and the Smoke, Castle Mute, and then an unknown operator on the side of the Saints there. And then obviously you can see the operators racked up there for the side of Kennesaw. So it's going to be Bonk finding the kill. Saints find round 1 when all odds were against them in that 4v5. It looked like it was dire.
Yeah, interestingly enough, they were able to sort of clutch that one out. Of course, it is sort of up to the players at this point to see if they are going to continue on with it, but...
Ubisoft? Alright, Ubisoft is doing some very fun things. There we go. We have the pause timer finally, I believe. So hopefully we can get Zerky back into the lobby here. I'm not sure if we're going to be restarting or not. That would depend. I'm not sure exactly the CR6 rulebook or exactly what's going to happen with these teams. I'd imagine Kennesaw calling for a pause after having a 5v4 would be pretty funny. And I respect the play on it. Like, oh yeah, restart game. We lost round 1. Would be funny nonetheless. But I guess we'll go through the operators while we're in the pause menu here. Going to be the Mute, going to be the Aruni, Castle, and Jaeger for the side of the Saints, waiting for that 5th to slot in there. And then good old-fashioned Sledge, Ash, Thermite from the OGs, Flores with that little bomb drone, and then Ace being, one of those new Heart Breachers as well. Yeah,
and of course, always interesting to see the difference between all of these operators, and of course, being someone who hasn't played a whole lot of R6, in fact, 0 R6, it's always interesting to see what they can do. But overall, I mean, it seems as if both of these teams are going to sort of stick to what is meta at this point. I mean, Aruna incredibly strong right now, as you mentioned earlier, Castle and Mute very strong in their own rights, as well as the Ash and the Flores. So overall, curious to see how they end up playing this one out, and of course, getting that first round win on attack, always on defense.
Defense,
yeah. That always good.
Ubisoft has been doing a number to our brains the last 5 minutes.
It's been I mean, right now we're still looking at
I was going to say,
we're just trying to figure out what's going on at that, but nonetheless, always interesting to see how they sort of opened up with their strategy, playing a lot quicker than I think we were expecting, just sort of finding the members as quickly as possible and executing that on that as soon as possible.
So I think we will actually throw it to another very, very quick break. Someone's PC assumedly crashed, so whoever put that in the text chat, whatever team member, we're going to get your name. We're watching you. But that being said, hopefully we'll be back in just 2 or 3 minutes here, finally get into some Siege.
And welcome back here to more Rainbow Six. We got it going. Fingers crossed. Okay.
I'm scared to talk.
Everyone is moving. Into the drone phase we go, but of course after winning that first round, you can already see spotting out where this bomb is going to be once again on that first floor, you know, trying to take away some of that verticality that we were talking about.
Yeah, this is a map. Yeah, you're going to play top down a lot of these areas. I believe this bomb site is going to be down in that bakery area, so you're either able to enter through the front door, there's a couple windows around the side of the building as well, or you can take to those hatches, try to get that drop down, find those off angles. And the defense round, you're going to see a whole lot of setup. If maybe you're not familiar with Rainbow Six Siege, trying to defend a bomb site from people trying to plant the diffuser, which is a little bit different, but nonetheless, this is the defense time. You're going to be setting up your walls, setting up your traps. The offense trying to scout out the location, seeing where they might want to enter, where they might want to make a play, and ultimately now, we are finally in game. We are in a 5v5, and wow, we're getting into the entrance.
Here's to see what these teams sort of go for in terms of strategy. You can still see a little bit of setup coming through from the side of the Saints here, just trying to get as much possible. Of course, there you see Iruni's little laser wall there set up there just to sort of prevent anyone from walking through, but nonetheless still just slow crawl forward from Kennesaw State here. Going to be taking out some of these info.
Yeah, it's going to be a whole lot of info gathering, a whole lot of utility destroying for either side to try to, you know, finally make that push. And we've seen a lot with Siege at least the last couple months. It seems to be, they used to be the 20-second meta. Now they seem to be the last 35, 40 seconds of the round. You're typically going to see the most action on a site where it's on the first floor. You might see the action a little bit sooner, granted the options. Going to nade through the wall there. Is going to tag up Trongo. Perfectly timed nade through that wall. They are going to spot him out. Nezzy is going to fall there to Xarin. So, Kennesaw off to a great start in this round 2 after falling in that 5v4 in round 1.
Yeah, and you can just see all the Uto just being dumped down. Trongo down pretty low. Zerky's taking a couple of shots as well. Here comes the Raspberry Pi. Little exploding drones. Be trying to find anything there, but goes, boom, it goes, and it seems like it's just gonna miss out on a kill onto anyone. Gonna drop that other one just because.
Yeah, gotta be careful those the mute charges as well. You could get caught up in those, won't be able to actually detonate that bomb. Trongo sitting here, very low HP, trying to find the kill, is gonna find that frag with the SMG. Beautiful job to get that equalizer. Now the Saints are into that 4v4. Trongo still sitting on low HP, and as you can see, as I mentioned, we saw 1 kill traded out per piece, but now the game kind of slows to a standstill for a little bit part of this mid game. Oh, yeah. They have to go back to get that diffuser. Kira, though, is going to find the kill on that MP5 Xarin. Going to be the one to follow. Now the Saints holding a strong advantage. We should mention, Cave is by far defensive side of the map, so the Saints are looking to definitely stack up these rounds.
And you can just see sort of the angles being held here. Satera trying to find anything that they can, but, you know, 4v2 situation. At the same time, it's all about these numbers. Satera with that diffuser, what's going to happen? They're getting burned down here just a little bit by the environmental teams. Well, look at that. Flipping around, 2 kills on their own, looking for a little bit more, but Zerky going to be able to shoot him over that countertop. Great angle being held. The crossfire just a little bit too much.
Some of the most satisfying plays in Siege. Look at that. That's Rainbow Six for you, folks. 2 SMG shots through the wall, just knowing where the person is, not even having to see them, still able to find that kill. So beautiful job by the Saints there. We're going to see probably similar ops to what we've seen the last couple games. We're going to see Ash, Flores, Buck, Sledge, Buck, good old, nice and Canadian in case no one knows that as well. Smoke, Mute, Castle, Valk, and Jaeger. Pretty standard comp. You've been seeing this one since early 2016 more than likely. And then we're going to see the Nomad on the other side there. So going to use those air jabs, set up flanks for Kennesaw there. Try to keep the Saints from rotating down on them. But Saints are up to a 2-0 start so far.
Yeah, definitely going to be an interesting round this time, though, on the second floor there. Might be a little bit harder to hold for themselves. Going to force them to play up a little bit. And you can see Kennesaw not even able to find the bomb quite yet. So sort of just taking their time, looking for whatever they can, trying to read out any of these setups. So you can see Wire spotted out on those stairs. Going to make it so much more difficult. Maybe giving a little bit of a tell saying, hey, they're on the second floor here. You might have to play up a little bit here. But these drones not really being taken out too much. So should be still in good shape for the side of Saints. They have a little bit of that advantage now that they haven't found the bomb quite yet.
Yeah, it's always nice. Typically, though, for maps like this, there's only so many set locations, so you can kind of gauge if people are running around in a certain area. You're like, okay, there's more than likely going to be setting up here. Obviously, you're going to have the weird rat spots where people are going to be sitting on util, playing off those cams and just trying to wait for the entries. But the Saints, as you said, the bomb was not exactly spotted out. Kennesaw, they're going to have a pretty good idea, though. They're a solid team. They played this game enough, so the Saints have to see how they want to play this defensive side. Nezzy going to bust open some holes into washroom there. Going to put this wall up on the side there. Jaeger is going to go down as well. The Saints just getting ready for this defensive hold here.
Still just a slow start as usual. You gotta be checking out some of these cams, just check out where everyone is. You can see these holes that are sort of about like chest height, so to speak, for some of them. The vault level heights, what it does is it forces people to go through them, get shot through there. So for anyone who hasn't played Siege like myself, that's a cool thing to know, you know?
It is. Yeah, Siege, the one good thing is you can manipulate 98% of the map to your advantage, and that's why you see, look at these little weird pixel holds, but you see they know exactly where people are going to run up. That crosshair is ready and trained for one of these members to walk across. Sees the pixel, is going to get spotted out in washroom though. Gonna have to back up, gonna get droned out there, gonna have to fall back as Nezzy. Gonna just not gonna take any damage, maybe gonna deal a couple bullets there, but not gonna find the frag. Now, Mine hiding, trying to get the trade out here. Gonna get tagged up there, lots of beeping above the door. They were getting spotted out or revealed there, but once again, as you said, it's usually a pretty slow start, and then things really start to burn. Gonna hit the sledge, not exactly find the mark there, but one more time, there you go, gonna break the wall down.
And now given an extra cubby that they've got to worry about here, but as you can see, just holding their angles. Of note, they still haven't really found the bomb site, maybe still expecting it to be on this third floor. You can see Blanc sort of holding on the second floor, biding their time. Now they've spotted this one out. Now it starts to come down to the collapse. You know, as you mentioned, it can sort of come down to these 40-45 seconds. You know, still got a little bit of time to set up for it, but you can see Spookido just pinging it out there, making sure that the team knows, and now got to worry about that ceiling. That's the problem with verticality, being on that second floor. You got to worry about above and below.
Yeah, and that's the problem with playing Castle into Sledge. Sledge does not care. He's going to walk right through those barricades. They're going to bust up this top floor, try to shoot through the top side ceiling here, and then work through those hatches to try to get, as you said, they're going to play vertically, which usually is the play for Cave. You're going to drop into train from this top floor, from the cocktail area. They're going to try to find these angles, maybe try to find one more pick, and then they're going to definitely try to send this one. They have a pretty aggressive comp. Buck especially, you're going to run in there with a shotgun, lots of frag grenades. They're going to try to cause havoc. Sotera is actually going to get that plant off, though. Should be able to find the diffuser here. We'll end up starting the timer for the Saints there, and X-Saren is going to find a kill. So now 5v3, and the Saints are going to have to figure this one out.
Of course, never say never in these situations, but it's going to be a little bit difficult, especially with Zerky falling as well. Nezzy just trying to hold any angle that they can, but they're starting to close in. The jaws of defeat are amongst them. Haydn still holding up on this upper level here. Kirabank taking a whole lot of damage as well. You can just see they're really struggling to find any of these angles. It seems as if, you know, they're fully aware that everyone is upstairs there. They can't really do much about it because they have to try and go for this defuse. But now, you know, 15 seconds left. Time is ticking. It's going to be a 1v5. Going to be a flawless round coming through from Kennesaw as that verticality really comes back to haunt them.
Yeah, beautiful job by the Saints. And yeah, they were in what we like to call a bad situation. 5v2 in Siege, it's going to be very, very hard pressed to find your way back, especially once that diffuser has been placed down as well. So now they're going to have to try to regroup. And that's the beautiful thing about Siege. You get to change every single round. You get to try to make adjustments, see what the other team's trying to play with as well. Saints are going to play a pretty consistent comp most of this game, though. It's the pretty standard fare for Cave. We are going to see the ace get busted out once again for Kennesaw. Going to see most of the same heroes again. Our operator Thatcher is going to be back, so that what I mentioned earlier about Thatcher, multiple characters having that EMP grenade now. Thatcher, if you've watched any Siege, you've not seen 1 minute of Thatcher gameplay for 3 or 4 years probably, because he was permabanned essentially. Now, finally going to show his face. And honestly, this used to be my one trick when I played ranked back in the day, so it's always a fresh sight for my eyes, at least, to see Thatcher in the game, because I say I'm used to him just not being available to even play in these games.
Yeah, and of course this time bomb site going to be on at that third floor, so going to be taking away that level of verticality as we were mentioning before. You know, really just forcing them to play up towards you. But
you can go through this. You can go through the roof.
You can go through the roof. Yes, you can.
It's a little tougher. Only like 1 or 2 hatches, though.
It's a little bit tougher that way. But of course, you know, peeking out through these windows, sometimes you'll just see someone hanging upside down, doing a little Spider-Man cosplay. Always difficult to sort of figure out these angles, but nonetheless, it's a little bit of a different setup coming through from the Saints. They're really putting a lot of their util here just to try and take that away. Not really fearing giving away the position of the bomb this time, more so just trying to hold that position as much as possible. As you mentioned, the ceiling a lot harder to breach than the likes of just that third floor. Yeah,
third floor, you have multiple windows, you have multiple hatches, you can go up, down, but yeah, being on the third floor, you're going to either play bottom up, or there's only 2 hatches located on the roof, I believe, so you would typically use something like the Sledge or the Buck, obviously the Ash as well, to try to break through those hatches. Looks like that will be the op for Kennesaw. They're going to send one to the top side. Maybe a couple exchanges down below as well, but they're going to try to get going. Try to get kind of like a pinch where you're going to send someone in through the top, send a couple people in through the side lane as well, and then try to, you know, create some mayhem, try to spot out this util, try to find these angles. And that's why you see a whole lot of shooting random walls and everything, everyone trying to ideally set themselves up. Mine Haydn, though, is going to set himself up with first blood, and Kennesaw maybe get a look to make the push now.
Yeah, even Trongo just hiding something behind just a random bit of table or something. You can see even the drones just coming down from the ceiling as well from Mine Haydn, on top of Mine Haydn there, but you know, just trying to find an entry, try and find anyone there. The drones spotting them out there. You can see right through that wall. It's so difficult. the Saints at this point because their position has been compromised so often. All these shots coming down from behind, but not yet able to find that kill in the Trongo.
Yeah, gonna take some damage. Ooh, turn on in the hatch. Mindhiden is going to be able to back off away there. Still going to have to investigate this hatch, make sure none of the Saints are lurking in this train room. One is lurking on the backside of that table and train, though. See if he can maybe cut the angle. Not going to be able to find it, though. We're down to a minute and a half, and as you said, once first blood, that's the kind of stuff you see in Siege routinely. Stuff that you go, there's just, how is that even physically possible? Yeah, but ultimately, that is how the game works. That is how Kennesaw is going to play this. Try to find these easy picks, and then, yeah, snowball your numbers. Take out this YouTube Blunt. Getting hit by some C4 there as well. Going to be tagged down to about half. So the Saints still down a man, but trying to still hold on to this push.
Of course, Siege is one of those games where it's headshot kill no matter what in this situation. So you can see just all the util being dumped. Might not matter if it just comes down to a headshot or two. But nonetheless, you know, just trying to keep that health advantage. Zerky taking a lot of damage as well. Down to a minute left. You can hear all the blaring sirens and everything. It comes down to a 3v5. They are spotted out, but they know where that bomb site is. And now, once again, the numbers advantage starting to play into the hand. Mindhiden finding a triple kill for himself as well. And all of a sudden, it's, again, a very bad time here. Oh my goodness, Mindhiden. It's absolutely everywhere. Even going to try and get the res there, but once again, flawless round coming through from Kennesaw. They wait until the last minute or so, and then they execute, and oh, it is so clean. Yeah, they executed beautifully. Mindhiden gonna get 4 kills and gonna get the revive, so good teammate, just a good overall guy. Was gonna find the 4K and get the res there. Kennesaw looked beautiful on that attacking round, got that first couple picks, were able to easily maneuver, and as you said, you don't need to play with the util if you find 5 kills. Killing all 5 members ultimately gonna end the round all the same anyway, so no need to beat your head into the wall, metaphorically and physically in this game. Just try to play off those picks there, play off those weird angles. We're gonna see pretty much the same 5. The Saints are gonna opt for the Rooney this time, maybe to try to slow that push of Kennesaw, realizing that the other pick might not have been the Valkyrie. Didn't really get them any value that round. Because unless you set up the cameras really, really well outside, which people usually spot out nowadays, it's been a couple years, you have to find some really, really slick spots, or you're not gonna get the most value as you would have maybe playing that Rooney. You can play a little more brain dead, throw the lasers down. It's gonna stall the push. We leave it at that. So they're gonna have to try to adapt now. Kennesaw picking up their 2 flawless rounds, being the 2 wins as well. You can just see Arena setting up all around here, just trying to make sure they have as much control of the space as possible. It all comes down to that info, right? And down some hard walls as well. Again, on this first floor, going to be easier for the drones to potentially spot this one out, but nonetheless, still going to be incredibly difficult. We've seen Saints able to hold this site twice already, so you know, being able to go back to this, being able to provide that hold once again, we'll see if they're able to execute on this once again. And that's all going to spot this one out. You know, very standard comp. It seems as if everyone's sort of going back to the tried and true in this situation, although the Thatcher not going to be necessary this time around, it seems. Yeah, no Thatcher Thermite, so, you know, the bromance that we all knew and loved from the spawn of Siege, not going to be here, unfortunately, but nonetheless, it's going to be a pretty slick comp. Spookito going to go try to get some value. These mute jammers, though, are going to be tied up. It's going to be behind that deployable shield, trying to find something there. They're going to put another barricade up. No damage going to be found. Little rubber ducky charm on Kira's gun there, absolutely adorable, but he's going to spot up that util throw. It's going to stop that from going off as well, so maybe the Saints doing a little bit of aggressive info gathering now on this defensive side, trying to slow down this Kennesaw push, but Mindhiden says no thank you, is going to find his 5th kill in 2 rounds so far. Looking at a slow push here coming through from Kennesaw once again, but this time, Trongo once again falling. It is a kill in reply, though, so at the very least, they're finding 1 for themselves, evening out the score once again here. Two teams have been very, very back and forth, especially on this first floor. On the other floors, it's been very much Kennesaw State governed in that situation, but you know, you really want to get that extra round or two on the defense here, especially on Cafe, where it is defensive sided, and you can see Zerky just holding as many angles as possible right behind the bomb site there, trying to find anyone potentially just getting caught off guard by this positioning. Yeah, and I guess it should be noted, the attacking side, if they win this set of bomb sites, that site is not going to be available again until the side swap. So if that's why you're going to see the first floor, it might be a little bit harder to take than the other one, so they're going to end up back to that one after they win out the second and the third floor. So that's why you're going to see these same side Zerky getting tagged down in kitchen. Going to have to find some kind of sustenance there. Is going to get that smoke charge ready. Trying to get ready on that doorway. The Saints still just waiting for this Kennesaw push. They are in a 4v4, but Zerky not looking too good for it. Having smoke go down early in the round is not ideal. He's the one, you want him last alive, just tagging up that bomb site with the smokes, not allowing the push. He is going to get going early on those, though. Explosive drone going to be behind him, not going to find the kill. He is going to get out of there just in time, but nonetheless, this game is starting to come down to a squeeze here. You can see just changing that angle, moving behind that other counter there. Hopefully no one's going to be checking that. You can just see through that wall. We can see it at least. The players can't. They're just all coming into this smoke here. Needs to be so careful, but once again, 50 seconds left on the round. Starting to come down to it. This is where we get into the 40-second meta. Great angle coming through from Zerky, but once again, still very low. Got to be incredibly careful around this bomb site here. And of course, diffusers can be started while that timer is at 0, but no, another kill going to be picked up. Zerky just holding the site for as long as possible, and now down to the 30-second mark.
Yeah, Zerky played that beautifully. 20 HP, just making sure he buys time to at least get his smokes off, delay the Kennesaw push. Was able to find a kill as well, so it was a beautiful set of Spookito now rushing in, trying to find if Zerky is still sitting behind there. He is finally going to secure the pick. Not going to find the turn, though. He's going to get down for the time being. He's going to get finished out here probably in a second or two. Although, Arsu is going to try to get the res here, but the Saints are aware of it. They're going to find the kill. Nezi and Kira finding the last two. Saints are going to take the 5th round here. Nice adjustment from the last couple rounds they lost.
And they've been really good on that first floor. You can just see their setup is just a lot cleaner, really preventing Kennesaw from getting anywhere. And of course, that's going to opt for them to switch up the site there. Nonetheless here, very curious to see. Of course, now you can see the Thatcher and the Sledge coming through once again because they want to get through that ceiling there. Saw the Aruni on that first floor. I'm curious to see if they opt for something different here. Of course, I believe this is the last round that they've got on this side of the map before it swaps over. Yeah. But the Valk going to be picked up once again. Such a strong operator here. And of course, Mute Castle, as you mentioned.
Attackers need to locate
Bromance, yeah. A couple Bromances in Siege, Thatcher, Thermite, Mute Castle. Those are probably the main two that we see so often. So it is a beautiful thing nonetheless. Lion Jackal is another one, a little bit newer, but also nonetheless got to be noted. But yeah, say Jackal, you're usually not going to see him a lot. So yeah, that's the part of the stipulation there. Normally it was Thatcher, now Jackal's taking his spot. But the Saints looking to bounce back here. They did just pick up that last round. Kennesaw, their 2-round wins did come off with a flawless. They have shown some prowess on these upper floor attack sites. The Saints still trying to hunker down here, withstand the push, and try to push this. And as we said, it is definitely, I would agree with it, it is definitely a defensive-sided map. You want to make sure you try to get the edge here. Attacking, as you see, those top floors might be a little bit easier, but that bottom floor can be very, very tricky if you don't end up fragging it.
See all this setup going down, really just trying to hold this line as much as possible. You want to get that extra round on defense. Give yourself a little bit of breathing room on the opposite side. You know, then you don't necessarily need even a winning half. You just need that tied half to be able to turn it back around. But of course, Kennesaw been looking really, really good. Also attacking half and already heading up to that upper level. All 3 of them already just climbing up there. They know exactly where this is. They want to execute on it.
Yeah, it's always a funny thing. All 3 or 4 stacked on these ropes. Oh, 360 Sledge on the hatch there. Mindheim going to take that out, try to get this top-down push going. Maybe send somebody on the back line here. Trongo holding up in Cocktail here, getting that pre-fire ready. You're going to see a lot of pre-firing too. When you assume someone's coming, it's better to expend those 6-7 bullets. You might get lucky, find that headshot. You see it in Valorant a lot in a lot of other games too. If you know where someone's going to be, ultimately just pre-fire, wait for the kill to come through. The Saints just going to sit and hunker down. That is part of defenses. Not being over-aggressive, not getting picked. Defensively, you're almost always going to lose playing too aggressively. It's going to almost come back to bite you every time. There's too much utility, too many angles to check, which is basically infinite since you can create your own angles. But the Saints still holding Kennesaw, likes to slow push this one to start.
And for the most part, as long as they haven't been picked off early in this round, it has boded well for the side of the Saints. The last 2 times they were on these upper floors, you know, it was immediate that someone was dropping and immediately turning that numbers advantage in favor of Kennesaw State. Blanc here, hanged up here, doesn't seem to be worrying about it too much. Still has all that information, dropping down a bunch of shots. A little bit of damage done to X there and there. Nonetheless, still just sort of taking their time, slowly but surely. Pinching down onto this side. Oh my goodness, wow. Terra actually going to get shot out. Yeah, so Terra getting deleted there is going to be down. They're going to look to get that finish as well. I'm not sure if anyone's going to make it to his aid. Kira trying to get this finish, but trying to be smart about it. They're maybe going to get some pings out there. They're going to spot out. Beautiful play. The ping coming through. Kira going to find the kill. They might get that res off as well, but the operator will come up, I believe, at 30 HP if the res goes through, so he will still be one shot, even though everybody is one shot. Headshot. Blanc going to get tagged out on the swing there, trying to find this pick, but they've done a good job so far of at least holding off Kennesaw's initial push. Zerky is down, however, right now. Yeah, so Terra back up on Hyde and immediately going to go down. Spookito as well, all in a row. Nezi on a triple kill here. My goodness, it's down to 1. And
Nezi finds 4 in the flawless. Wow, when it was seemingly not going to be a play, he's going to pop off in this kitchen, in this freezer area. 4 members of Kennesaw are going to fall on the sword there. Beautiful job from the Saints, and finally, you know, nice to see a nice pop-off moment. Last time Academy, they had to get under it in that first game. They really turned it on over stream the last couple weeks, and now finally we get to see first pop-off moment. Beautiful job there by Nezi on that. I believe it was the MP5, just doing numbers.
You can see on the flip side, though, a couple of different looks coming through from these 2 sides in terms of the agents they're selecting. Of course, the Mute, maybe the Castle going to come through on this defense from side of Kennesaw, but Cade is picked up there as well. Alibi as well, gonna come through, gonna throw down that clone from time to time, but Frost as well.
I love
Interesting,
Frost.
Different change up here. A very, very different defensive sided comp from Kennesaw here. It seems like they're just going more towards their wheelhouse, but once again, still, same 70% of that core. The 30% is what's switching up here a little bit.
Frost trapping people, especially on this map as well, you can put some dirty frost traps in fireplace around the train area. It's like my guilty pleasure catching somebody with a random frost trap on this map. When you just hear that snap across the map, you hear that the big grunt like, ugh, and you know you got someone in a spot that nobody would have ever seen coming. It is the most satisfying thing ever. Frost, also Canadian compadre to Buck nonetheless. So love the character. Very, very useful on a map like this where you're hard reaching a lot of windows. You put it like up to the left side or right side of a doorway. Somebody might not see it. And then yeah, they're playing a lot of, we're going to shut down doorways and these entrances from the Saints. Playing the Cade, playing the Alibi, playing the Frost. You're trying to shut down those front door pushes. The Saints might be able to play some kind of top-down strategy here if they're able to find it out, but Kennesaw definitely going to look to stop that early push.
You can see a little bit of a change-up as well on this offense coming through from St. Clair, pulling through, you know, some of their agents that they like to pull out, you know. Curious to see how they execute here because, of course, it's always interesting to see how teams are going to do on the opposite side of the opposite side of the map in this situation. So, nonetheless, you know, defense side of the map, they got that extra round for themselves. You just need to tie up this half. You don't need the cleanest of halves at that. You just need to make sure you're getting at least half your rounds.
Yeah, the Saints, exactly. You wanted to make sure you had that lead on defense. Having a 2-round lead, a little bit nicer than having a 1-round lead, so they are going to try to snowball that one now. If you're able to take one of these first 2 rounds, you're going to be in a very, very nice spot for yourselves. But yeah, that's the beautiful thing about Siege. It's kind of like League of Legends in a way. There's so many different operators to play, and while hard reaching only can be done so many different ways, they still find a way to make it unique. Players find a way to utilize it to the best of its ability. Yeah, we're going to see the Zofia coming up for Kira. This one character they said they might mention or might play, she's been very, very strong for a long time. Just has those stun shots out of her gun as well. Very solid assault rifle too. Kennesaw, once again, the slow game to start things off on both sides.
Exactly, and it seems like Saints are perfectly fine to sort of take their time on this offensive side, just sort of find anyone they can, drop as much util as possible, and really sort of close in as time progresses. It's still got about half of the round remaining here, so no pressure to sort of pick up the pace quite yet, but these drones are just absolutely everywhere, man. Zipping around, trying to get as much info as possible, yet to really find any sort of advantage, but there you go. It's going to be a pick on the opposite side. It's going to be, unfortunately, Zerky dropping there, and that's going to be a tough diffuser to pick up.
Yeah, that's going to be one of your hard reachers down too, losing that ace early in the round. Not going to spell good Spookito though. It's going to fall here. Trying to get the finish there. Kira, beautiful job on that Zofia to run down that kill. St. Clair is going to recover that diffuser, try to make some plays. Ash is going to breach their Nezzy, trying to find some ways in. They're going to be in trainer in fireplace. Yeah, going to breach the floor. Maybe try to find something through the floor here. Try to find one of these off-angle picks. Going to bust up all of train here. They're getting ready to play top down. Either start spraying at people until they start running like mice and then walk in the front door, or try to find these picks. And yeah, Sledge just going to town with that hammering.
Just really trying to open up this ceiling, get as much of that verticality that we were mentioning in the first half there. I think it's X there and it's going to fall down as well, and now you can see just Blunt going to be camping out on that ceiling, of course. Still a little bit difficult because you've got to make it down to that first floor. You've still got to, you know, check all those angles. This drone, though, might have just spotted out the slightest of a leg there. Flashbang going to come through.
Here's the
might
frag.
have been a little bit of friendly fire, but here's the frag.
Yeah, frag, not going to find the kill, but nonetheless, a very, very good idea. The Saints did get the info. As you said, they're playing very safe, and did somebody say 20-second meta? There is exactly 20 seconds on the clock. It is about to strike midnight for Kennesaw. St. Clair, Kira's going to find the second. St. Clair going to have to make a push now, though. 14 seconds. They have to at least get onto the site here and start to contest, and they're going to want to not do it one at a time either. That could definitely be a problem. Kira holding this headshot angle. Perfect timing by Maidenhide to pick that kill up. The Saints are going to have to move, though. 3 seconds. Blunt going to bring it to a 3v1. Diffuser is going down now, so they are going to buy that time bonus, but it is down to a 2v1. Maidenhide versus the world, and he is going to get it. Kennesaw State somehow going to get that stop there. The Saints going to really want that one back.
Exactly, and at that point you just have to stick it. You have no choice in that matter, and unfortunately just a second off until they could potentially buy themselves maybe the 1v1 you traded out, but unfortunately I think it was the clone that sort of threw him out. The Alibi just able to turn that one around and find that kill, but nonetheless, ooh, some...
They're not locking in Oryx.
Other interesting choices.
Maybe?
Through.
Are they?
Maestro as well. Oh my. Okay.
Oryx would be the surprising one. I think he's definitely okay, but it's definitely a little strange compared to what we're used to seeing on this map. We are going to see Warden say definitely has this use. I think you can drop his like tactical glasses. You can't be able to leave like flashbang and things of that nature. So you're able to run around and deal with that. It's Commissioner Gordon, if anyone has watched Batman. It is identical
like
character
him, yeah.
model for those that don't know. So say Gordon, that's what we're referring to.
The air traffic controller, you know?
Exactly. We are going to see that variation. Oryx, basically, you see the emblem is a bull. He runs at people very fast and charges. So not very complicated character, but I'm sure there's one that is good for stopping the push, trying to bounce back to these Saints here. The Saints going to play a pretty standard 5 comp over there, though.
So I think same 5 agents. Once again, you got that sledge coming through. You got the Zofia as well. This time, though, of course, that bomb site going to be on the 3rd floor. So a little bit quicker to be able to spot this out. You know, if they're going from the top down, they'll be able to get to that.
Yeah.
I think that was the main thing. They didn't go through the bottom floor. They went through the top down, and they took so long to get down to that bottom floor that, you said it, the 20-second meta kicked in. They were in a little bit of trouble at that. But of course, defense looked quite strong from Kennesaw nonetheless. They were able to clutch it out when it really mattered. But still, a couple of things to be worried about. You know, they really went down that man advantage. It was only through sort of a hero play that they were able to turn it around.
Yeah, and Meidenheim has done plenty of that this game. Already going to be at 7-4-2 for the scoreline. So he's played an excellent series, excellent game 1 so far. He's been holding it down. Yeah, Kennesaw has done a great job holding the serve there. See X there and getting a few frags to the Saints. They're going to take to the rooftop here, trying to bust down these hatches. They know where the bomb is, so they're going to try to have to play into that train area on the 3rd floor. They're going to send those drones in, break all these hatches. Oh, get a Trongo. Maybe get to hurt his hands a little bit on that one. It's like when you hit a baseball in the wrong spot there, so a little bit of recoil, but nonetheless. Going to knife away that little shard of glass to the Saints, clearing out pixel-perfect angles, maybe trying to catch Kennesaw lacking here.
Toss that drone down as well, sort of get a little bit of a vibe for what their setup is looking like here. But of course, a little bit pixely there. You know, didn't have the 1080p.
Oh yeah.
At that point, you know.
Yeah, the bit rate was off.
A little bit, the Wi-Fi wasn't too good up there. Of course, they're on the ceiling, but nonetheless, that's actually an insane spot for that drone right there. Just
oh, you'll see some real
there.
interesting. You'll see like how did they even get up there? It's like parkour with the drones to get to some of these spots because that way it's like a mini camera basically, right? You're not driving around getting spotted unless an enemy is able to spot it out and tag it. They're not going to see it. Zerky checking
This is risky.
Checking the spiral staircase, trying to see if he can catch somebody. Rotating here. Meidenheim going to be tagged down to half HP. The Saints trying to do damage early on through these windows. Just getting that spam down to 1 HP. Meidenheim hanging on by a thread. Maybe the Saints are aware of this. Maybe they try to make some play to pressure him. Although it's in Siege, you can hear the damage, but you don't get hit markers. So you have the audio cue that someone is getting tagged by the bullets, you know, entering them, but you have to be aware of it as well and make sure you play it properly. And the Saints are playing this one real slow.
Oh, actually going to be the pick opposite way on Akira right there. Zerky still has that diffuser. I believe they were the first one to sort of hop down, but still might be in a little bit of a risky situation. I love how we get to see the silhouettes and we see how close they are every single time. Pixels away. Oh my goodness, it's going to be a big flash coming through. Might have spotted them out here, but once again, they've spotted the bomb site. It's going to be Trongo actually collecting out Meidenheim. Finally there. He's living on a sliver for so long, but the frag going to pick him up.
Yeah, and Blunk sending out the air jabs there. Zerky is going to fall. St. Clair at the numbers disadvantage is Nezzy trying to find these stray peaks. Going to break the jewelry case there. Maybe got hurt out as well. So Kennesaw, they're going to have some info on some of the Saints here. Going to be shooting behind that bar, trying to find that pre-fire angle. But it will be Soterra to be the one to find that kill. Trongo cooking up something above this hatch. Maybe going to find this kill. Oh, lots of damage onto the Oryx, but unfortunately not going to find the kill. And that still means it's going to be a 4v2. That extra angle will be able to be held by Kennesaw. And the Saints are going to have to find some way to try to break through. But 20 seconds left and down 2 members. It's going to be tough. Going to shoot that alibi as well, give himself away. And that's the tricky thing. You look and you see 3 heads, you shoot all 3, and all 3 of them are fake.
Yeah, and that's the issue with alibi, you know, especially since it does reveal, I believe, after Soterra on a triple kill. Wow. Suwa going to be able to clean that one up, and my goodness, Soterra lived with just a sliver of health and ended up being that clutch one. That frag grenade so close to clutch him out, but nonetheless, very difficult on this attack thus far for the side of the Saints. They really haven't been able to find that sort of eureka moment, really been able to push forward, and it seems as if we might see some switch-ups in terms of their agents, potentially. There's the Thermite coming through. Curious to see.
Nah,
not gonna get
more than likely won't see Thermite. He's like really slow to set up and everything, so it's kind of, you know, it can be a little bit tricky to set up. Ace, you can get a little more range, a little quicker, a little more direct. Yeah, so we're gonna see a couple swaps. I don't hate that from the side of the Saints. We're gonna see pretty much the exact same comp out of the side of Kennesaw. They're gonna go the Castle, the Jaeger, stick with that alibi. Alibi honestly probably the most annoying character to play against. I'll say it. It's one of the top 3 probably, just because, as you said, you can look, you just saw 3 heads, you 3-tapped every single head, and all you did was get revealed for it. And it's just, the info is so good to go back the other way. Saints, though, dropped the last 2 rounds to Kennesaw on this attacking side. They're going to have to find a way to get back into this game. First 1 to 7 is the winner of this game as well, so we're getting down to the nitty-gritty as we move on here.
Of course, the R6 sure. We get as much of them as possible.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
they missed out for a month, so they're getting their money's worth at that.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, here, of course, setting up, I believe, once again on this. I believe that's on the second floor there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be that verticality. We really saw that turn in favor of Kennesaw on the attack because they were able to attack from so many different angles. You know, up through the floor, down through the floor, all of that jazz. Curious to see if the Saints are able to execute on that once again, but it seems like for the time being, up they go to the ceiling. Yep, there we go.
If it's the second floor, is it the ceiling or the floor?
Oh.
Nice. Perfect. Exact answer I wanted there. Saints are once again going to take to the rooftops. I do see 5v4, so maybe there was a disconnect on the Kennesaw side. Looks like the castle might be out of commission here, unless that's a utility being gone. Otherwise, Ubisoft maybe just hitting us a little visual bug. Hopefully that's the case. Something to keep of note, though, just in case here as we swap around. Gonna see 3 members, gonna see 4. Looks like Jaeger might be out of commission here potentially. Oh no, we're all good. Okay, luckily it is a visual bug. Just had to make sure. We saw what happened a little earlier. Yeah, we had to make sure. So ignore the 5v4. Still 5v5 X-Saren. This is pretty much the #1 cringe alibi spot for this map. Just sit behind the shield, 1 to the left, 1 to the right, and as long as you're able to find a few shots there, you're gonna have a real good time on that character.
Yeah, shots just coming through in all sorts of different angles there. Oh my goodness, you're right. These angles are they're really
cheeky.
cringe sometimes.
You'll see worse. Like once we get to like more, like, not more diverse maps, but you'll see some stinky stuff on Rainbow Six.
You see here right now, just sort of trying to find anything. Nezzy as well, hanging upside down, I believe that is, just
with a
trying to look
grenade
for any
launcher.
sort of shots there. But I'm on hiding, taking a couple shots once again, despite his alibi setup being in that favor now.
Now it's
fighting the opposite way. As
Thanks, Ubisoft. Flip that one over on us. Splunk is going to try to get those air jabs going though behind that shield, at least to try to knock over Alibi, knock her onto her behind, find those frags. But they are going to hold serve. X-Saren not going anywhere. Finds the double. He is going to get traded out by Nezzy, but not before he picks up all 3 Saints so far for the round. Camera going to get some value. Mind hiding, finding Zerky. Now all down to a 4v1 Trongo against the world. They're going to have some info probably as well. They're going to send some frags out there. They're going to try to put the squeeze onto Trongo here and find this last one. And 1v4 attacking, you're basically playing for picks. And at that point, once you get 1 frag, they're going to have some info. This is going to be a tricky one.
Really curious because, you know, they can't walk up and just grab the diffuser and try and sprint away because, as you mentioned, 1-shot headshot, that's all you need with all these angles being held. Exactly what's going to happen. Manhattan has just been so sure with those shots thus far. Look at this angle. Just, yeah, you get
I thought they nerfed
glimpse.
this gun 3 years ago. It still does that, huh? That's interesting.
Yeah, just a glimpse of the shoulder there, and that was enough to cut him down.
The SMG-11, I could have sworn they nerfed that thing a couple years ago. That was like, people would just really run a gun with that. You find easy headshots, but nonetheless, I guess if you're that skilled, the gun is still going to find lots of value. We are going to see potentially Vigil coming out for the side of Kennesaw. That would be a very, very, very fun pick. Vigil, extremely fun to watch. We are going to see the IQ coming through for the Saints now. So, trying to spot out that gadgetry, that electronics through the wall, give them a little bit of a heads up as to what they're about to run into. Spot out those mute jammers, find the Jaeger equipment. We're going to see Warden and Vigil coming through for Kennesaw. So, definitely a change-up, but I think a fun one nonetheless.
Air traffic controller there, of course, still, but well, it's going to be curious to see what IQ can actually accomplish for them, because it's a little bit of a change-up. It was, you know, the same comp 3 rounds in a row. Sometimes you just have to change one of those variables coming through. Man, this visual bug is really weird. Just
Bomb located.
they don't like Kennesaw State, it seems. 5v4 already.
It's okay. They're going to kill it. It'll flip back or whatever it is. But yeah, nonetheless, discriminating against Kennesaw. Ubisoft, obviously, we've seen hasn't been exactly flawless in the game tonight, but at least we're in here still. Saints are down 1 round. Kennesaw 2 rounds off taking this map. The Saints took 4 on the defensive half. Kennesaw, I believe, has answered with 3 so far. I think they've gone 3 of 3 on the defensive half, so they've been flawless so far in their execution. We've been finding those early picks on the Saints, making it into those 2v4s, which in Siege, very, very hard to come back from unless you see, as we saw earlier, that crazy turn and rotate where you find that crazy kill. Zerky, though, gonna go spawn peek in there, gonna catch Spookito out, trying to get a little bit aggressive there. So beautiful job to get that first blood.
Just making sure that the scoreboard is right after all of that.
Exactly.
It's a good early pick as well, because we've seen it's been a struggle for them to find these early picks, but when they do, they're incredibly successful at taking advantage of that and pushing that forward with their tempo. So, you know, great shot coming through onto Spookito. They're going to have a bit more trouble still. They're going to go from that top down, still looking for the sort of same approach. But now, you know, you've got that 1 extra member. Sometimes those trades can switch the other way now that you've got that extra member to peek for you.
Yeah, now they're going to take their time, find some info. I would say don't take as much time as they took that other round where they basically had a 4v2 for 1 minute, waited till 20 seconds, and then that's when you get caught out rushing into a room because you're not going to be able to check all those angles. You do this, 2 minutes, be nice and meticulous, clear out all those angles, check for alibi, ratting behind that deployable shield, try to spot her out, make a play, try to get that diffuser down, and then just play off the site on the defensive side of it. But they did find first blood. Kennesaw now just going to try to get some info back, and they're going to try to find that answer.
See, nothing really getting spotted out. I mean, you can hear those drones sort of whizzing around and everything too, so might be giving away just a little bit. You don't want to give away your location. Of course, Sledge gonna come in with the hammer, bonk him down. Nezzy though, taking a straight shot, will be down right away. CollegiateR, right place, right time. Down to a 4v4 once again, but realistically, Sledge has it on. Sledge is still looking to find the news there. Actually, CollegiateR going to fall as well, so 4v3. Still the man advantage coming through for the side of the Saints, but now down to 90 seconds. You really got to start to push the tempo just a little bit more.
It looks like they're going to do that as well, which is very, very smart. They cleared out mining. Zerky, a little whiff there, is going to find on the retrigger there. They're going to bump the C4. They're going to start to take apart this ceiling. I would say, though, maybe do this a little bit faster. We saw this exact setup last time, except it was a 4v2. They just were a little bit too late to the punch there. So now maybe they learned. They look like they are playing a little bit more aggressive, but they want to try to force the action here. I think they should do that as well. This drone should be able to get them some info if he swings around here. They are going to get the pings out there. Now the info's been gathered. Are they going to try to make a swing off it? It looks like it's going to be a fake, though. So maybe a little bit of Benedict Arnold information, so to speak. But, oh, he's going to walk forward. They're going to get that hard ping. Maybe they're going to be able to find that shot through the wall or something like that. They're going to look for it. But the Saints still waiting 38 seconds, and they're still trying to push it.
Yep. Pushing that 45 seconds down to 30 seconds. We'll see if they can take advantage. It's coming down as well. Down to 30 seconds. They really got to start to pick up the tempo once again. It seems as if they might have waited a little bit too long. But they are going to get another pick. It's another 4v2 situation. They know exactly where these last two members are. They're really trying to close in together. Peak as a team for that one. Airball. Right behind his counter. So he's going to take a couple of shots as well. Information might be there. Are the shots going to come down? Not quite yet. There it is, 4v1. They got to look for this defuse right now, though.
Yep, not needed. Kira finding 2 kills at the end there. Beautiful job by the Saints. They played it really, really close time-wise once more, and it always gets a little bit sticky when you're relying for that last 10 seconds to try to get it all done. But they are going to find that next round. They're going to even things up at 5. They're going to be back, say, on that attacking side still, trying to break the deadlock. Now, they at least broke that run of Kennesaw winning 3 in a row. Kennesaw busting out the Vigil and the Warden, not finding the greatest results, although Vigil was taken out of the game in the first 10 seconds, so maybe they try to run it back. No, they're going to go with the maybe a little slightly safer pick, Oryx. Not exactly the definition of safe, but aggressive nonetheless.
Too. So a little bit of a change out from the Saints as well. Maybe reading that they're moving that up to one of those upper floors. You want a different agent to potentially look for that other operator. And agent, operator, champion.
That's all the same. It's interchangeable. Heroes, Overwatch. I use all 4 interchangeable on every stream.
It's always fun to keep track of all of them, but nonetheless, tied up at 5s. Thus far, it's been a little bit of a tougher attacking half for St. Clair, but once again, we can look at the momentum that these teams can carry. If you can sort of figure out what the setup is that they've got, you have some sort of counter strategy that you've been brewing up for a couple of rounds, this might be the time to sort of pull that out here. All of a sudden, the 45 goes the opposite way. Man, Ubisoft's not happy with us tonight.
Ubisoft has never been happy, let's face it. Not for as long as they've been making Siege, they've not been happy, but nonetheless, scoreboard is irrelevant. All that matters is that it is 5-5, and it is 5 players apiece right now in this round. Both teams dead even, trying to break this deadlock. The Saints, if you're trying to get that first blood again, they're able to, and yeah, they did a great job. They found that first pick right away. They immediately were just smart about it. They didn't waste anything. They didn't get anyone caught out. They just played extremely smartly. But if they're not going to find that first blood like they did last round, what's going to be the angle here to try to, make a play and get Kennesaw off their foot?
Both of these teams just one round away from getting that match point. Each of them, if they trade back rounds once again, pushing us into overtime. You can see moving around that alibi clone just in case. It's going to be so difficult to tell when there's, as you said, 3 heads poking at you, but if you're find some sort of upside down angle, they're unable to find anything quite yet, but nonetheless, aggression coming through. They spot out the bomb, so at the very least, they've got that information down and they can look for an execute. They know it's going to be on that top floor.
Yeah, just spraying out these windows now on the 3rd floor, not going to actually peek them though, just to draw some attention, let them know they're aware of where the bomb is, where the plays are going to happen. Zerky, a lot of value, going to hide behind the Christmas tree, hide behind those presents, keep that drone going. Maybe bust that thing out to find some info later in the round. Mind hiding is going to be very, very low down tagged already, so the Saints, they're going to enter with the flash here. Blunt going to spray up this wall. Trying to find the kill through Cigar here. Isn't going to quite find it just yet. Saints going to drop in droves here. Maybe trying to start to put the squeeze on Kennesaw. Air jab going to be dropped from the stairs.
my.
Beautiful angle by Blunk, finding the swing on red there. He's going to find that kill. Saints now with the early advantage. What are they able to do with it, though?
You can see just sort of grouping up this time, playing together as a team, trying to find any sort of trades possible because they know they got that man advantage once again. Meinheiden, one of the 3 people who really popped off for the side of Kennesaw with Tronco, taking a couple of shots. You can see Blanc just trying to fire anything that they can through on that angle. You know, you see the alibi, you know exactly what it is.
Oh,
my
beautiful.
goodness.
Grenade. Oh. Yeah, grenade takes up the shield. That was absolutely gorgeous. And you can see, we saw Xarin aiming at that little angle. The Saints were aiming right back at the same angle the other way, so they know exactly what time it is. They played that beautifully. Kennesaw maybe doing that trick one too many times. Eventually, the Saints had the counterplay for it, and that was the beautiful thing about it.
Yeah, you know, fool me once, fool me twice, fool me how many times
Yeah.
until you figure it out and get that forward. You're going to try and drop that charge through the wall as well. Oh my goodness, Blunk picks up a triple as well as he's just trying to make sure no one's there. Taking out, you know, an alibi drone just because. Make sure, ooh, but on the flip around, they still have the chance to get res there. Nonetheless, this is a 5v1, so it should be more than enough time to be a good teammate, but now just Satera against the world. They were the one to drop Blunk, I believe, but still, too many people at that angle. Why can't I be able to spot them out? You can see how many people have set up there. Oh, great shots.
Yeah, there's one. Has 3 more to go here. And going to be taken out by Trongo. Saints, another beautiful attacking round. Finding that kill onto Xarin in the backside of that shield was honestly the catalyst. He was basically locking down that entire room for the last 3 or 4 rounds of Saints. Finally able to nade out the shield. They knew Mute was dead, so they couldn't stop anything. Perfect play to get him out of cover, find the headshot, play off of each other. And Seeds, that's a huge thing too. Playing for trades is massive. You don't want to give away a 1-for-0, especially when you have time to reset. Sit in another corner quietly, just bide your time, wait for the push to come through. The Saints push the action there, find those kills, and now they're sitting on map point.
Look at the switch up coming through. Warden actually going to go over to Meinheiden this time, it seems. Oh my goodness, this is a very different look coming through from the side of Kennesaw. They really want to hold the line here. Arudi going to be switched to at the very last second.
Shout out to Kobe.
I love the chat messages that just pop up. It's like, hey, shout out to Kobe.
Yeah, you know, with the Mamba in his heart there, did find a couple nice nade kills as well and took out that shield. So doing the memory justice right now. Saints trying to lock up this game, trying to finish out on this attacking side. They've done such a good job the second half of the second half as well. It was 5-2 Kennesaw, or no, it was 4-2 St. Clair. Kennesaw goes on a 3-round run. The Saints then taking multiple back-to-back here. Meinheiden sitting at 9 frags. Kennesaw, they're finding a lot of these kills. A lot of these rounds have been like pretty close toward the end, but one team, it's honestly, whoever finds first blood probably has, I bet you, a 75% win rate most of these rounds or something like that.
And I mean, I think the real momentum killer was when it was Ezzy, who was Zerky actually, just able to find that frag right off the spawn, you know, 10 seconds in, and really able to turn that round in their favor. That's what sort of gave them momentum, gave them a little bit more confidence in, you know, a little bit more strut in their step, so to speak. But now they're just going to try and scale up to that 3rd floor. They did spot out where that bomb site is, so knowing exactly where that is, going to try and execute on that. But once again, Kennesaw State, as we mentioned, bringing in some different operators coming through here. Might be a little bit of a switch up in that regard.
Yeah, definitely going to be going for a different approach, realizing maybe they're not going to, what they did finally got caught out, so they're going to stop. Xarin, though, he's never leaving that corner. He's going to play it off. They're going to run with these lasers now, so they're going to, try to slow that push of St. Clair, get ready for that 2nd and 3rd wave of pushing and utility after they go. They usually go for picks, then you play the 1st wave of utility, see if anything comes of it, then you wait another 30 seconds, play for that 2nd wave, and then ultimately make a decision. Just to let you know I know where you are. That's just all that is. Little warning shot to the window.
Meinheiden, you know, hearing those shots there, tried to swing around on it, but not able to pick it up. Actually spotting out that Aruni cage as well. Get a little bit more information, but once again, just breaking through all of these windows, all of these walls, just trying to find any angles they can. Zerky is their charge to break through that hard wall again. Last on the Claymore as well, trying to catch anyone on these rotations.
Oh, the Claymores are the most fun thing to see. Putting Claymore through a drone hole, too, is like top. When you've done that, you've mastered Siege. So, going to hold up this red stair with the Claymore. Going to set up those air jabs as well. So, this flank going to be completely locked down for the Saints. They're going to shut down that red stair push if Kennesaw decides to try to opt for that Zerky. Still holding this angle. Nezzy holding a fraction of a pixel. I know you can't see it. He is holding an angle through that window very toughly. Blunk is going to find the kill. They're going to make it into a 5v4 now. So Zerky at half HP, but the numbers advantage does fall in favor of the Saints. Blunk getting tagged up to get that grenade off Kira, though. Beautiful job to trade. Blunk going to have to dodge his own grenade. Take out that util. The Saints, so with this 5v3, they're going to have to find a way to close this one out.
And you can see the 2 main members there, you know, Meinheiden and Xarin have been taken out there, but Satera always holding the line as much as possible. It's been sort of their 3 MVPs, you just shooting down
they know.
The Alibi shield. They know exactly what it is at this point, you know. as you mentioned, it's if you use the same strat too many times, there ends up being a counter to it. Sometimes that counter is just blasting it down as many times as you can, but nonetheless, going to keep looking for these angles. Nezzy, my goodness, excuse me. Oh, spots someone out too, unable to land the shots down on it, but no, absolutely crazy. Blanc able to find a double kill, and now they're starting to put the pressure on. As you mentioned, on attack, if you're able to get this man advantage, it can be so useful if you can just get that diffuser. Yeah, that's just going to be 5v1. It is only Spookito. Zerky even going to get rezzed up, and the diffuser should be put down. Spookito looking for the shots, able to find another one there. Down to the sidearm, though. Will they be able to clutch it out? No, that will not be the case, and Saint's going to be able to take map 1.
Yeah, they told Spookito, Halloween was last week, brother. You're not pulling that one in a 5v1. They are going to shut that one down. Saints, beautiful job. Exactly what I expected to see from two teams that are 4-1. We saw back and forth. Both teams went on runs like a game of basketball. Kennesaw wins 2, St. Clair wins 2. Kennesaw wins, St. Clair wins back and forth. Great game. Once we got in the game, everything worked. It was a beautiful job. The Saints, just to be noted, they did win a 4v5 round in that map. So,
yes,
you know, a little asterisk to the round 1 there, but we see Blanc and Kira going to be double-digit frags, going to be sitting at 12 kills apiece. Just a beautiful job by the entire team and a great start to win map 1. Especially, they took the defensive side first, but now had to go into map 2, but a great start nonetheless.
Definitely going to be a good sort of push forward for them and a little bit more momentum for them. Once again, back and forth. Both of these teams very, very even in skill, and I think overall going into map 2, when it is on Clubhouse, you know, a map that everyone should be familiar with at this point. Very curious to see what their strategies are coming through with it. They're going to go for some of these similar operator picks. If they're sort of getting a vibe for what the side of Kennesaw State is going to pull through for themselves as well, but nonetheless, very, very good map. I'm very curious to see what Kennesaw State can push back with, because, you know, on that defensive half, you're always going to be slightly favored on that defense, no matter what map you're on, to an extent. Yeah, it depends. Yeah, there's some maps where it's just like there's so much to watch. It's like you have to have somebody really on the game to watch every angle. So that's an interesting thing. And even then, they're going to bring out the meta comp the first few rounds, and then they're going to throw everything to the wall eventually when they realize this isn't working, and we're going to try to play a different style. But that's the beautiful thing about Rainbow Six. That being said, though, we're going to throw it to a very, very quick break. Map 1 just finished. The Saints hold a 1-0 lead. Clubhouse coming up next. Really stack up these rounds. And you can just see sort of the angles being held here. CollegiateR6 trying to find anything that they can, but, you know, 4v2 situation. At the same time, it's all about these numbers. CollegiateR6 with that diffuser, what's going to happen? They're getting burned down here just a little bit by the environmental teams. Well, look at that. Flipping around, 2 kills on their own, looking for a little bit more, but Zerky going to be able to CollegiateR6 back up and went hide, and immediately going to go down. Spookito as well, all in a row. Nezzy on a triple kill here. My goodness, it's down to 1.
Nezzy finds 4 in the flawless. Wow, when it was seemingly not going to be a play, he's going to pop off in this kitchen, in this freezer area. 4 members of Kennesaw are going to fall on the sword there. That could definitely be a problem. Kira holding this headshot angle. Perfect timing by Maidenheim to pick that kill up. The Saints are going to have to move, though. 3 seconds. Blanc going to bring it to a 3v1. Diffuser is going down now, so they are going to buy that time bonus. But he's down to a 2v1. Maidenheim versus the world. And he is good.
Headshot. That's all you need from all these angles being held. Exactly what's going to happen. Maidenheim has just been so sure with those shots thus far. Look at this angle. Just
I thought they nerfed this gun 3 years ago. It still does that, huh?
All right, the shot's going to come down. Not quite yet. There it is, 4v1. We got to look for this defuse right now, though.
Yeah, not needed. Kira finding 2 kills at the end there. Beautiful job by the Saints. They played it really, really close time-wise once more, and it always gets a little bit sticky when you're relying for that last try to start with the squeeze on Kennesaw. Air jab going to be dropping the stairs. Beautiful angle by Blanc, finding the swing on red there. He's going to find that kill. Saints now with the early advantage. What are they able to do with it, though?
See, just sort of grouping up this time, playing together as a team, trying to find any sort of trades possible, because they know they got that man advantage once again. Maidenheim, one of the 3 people who really popped off for the side of Kennesaw with Tronco, taking a couple of shots. You can see Blanc just trying to fire anything that they can through on that angle. You know, you see the alibi, you know exactly what it is.
Oh, beautiful.
Goodness.
Grenade.
Great. See how many people have set up there. Oh, great shots.
Yeah, there's 1. Has 3 more to go here. And going to be taken out by Tronco. Saints, another beautiful attacking round. Finding that kill onto Xterran in the backside of that shield was honestly the catalyst. He was basically locking down that entire room for the last 3 or 4 rounds of Saints.
Yeah, it's just going to be 5v1. It is only Spookito. Is there even going to get rezzed up? The diffuser should be put down. Spookito looking for the shots, able to find another one there. Down to the sidearm, though. Will they be able to clutch it out? No, that will not be the case, and Saint's going to be able to take map 1.
Yeah, they told Spookito, Halloween was last week, brother. You're not pulling that one in a 5v1. They are going to shut that one down. Saints, beautiful job. Exactly what really stack up these rounds.
And you can just see sort of the angles being held here. CollegiateR6 trying to find anything that they can, but, you know, 4v2 situation. At the same time, it's all about these numbers. CollegiateR6 with that diffuser, what's going to happen? They're getting burned down here just a little bit by the environmental seems, but look at that. Flipping around, 2 kills on their own, looking for a little bit more, but Zerky gonna be able to Satera back up behind Hyde and immediately gonna go down. Spookito as well, all in a row. Nezzy on a triple kill here. My goodness, it's down to 1.
Nezzy finds 4 in the flawless. Wow, when it was seemingly not gonna be a play, he's gonna pop off in this kitchen, in this freezer area. 4 members of Kennesaw are going to fall on the sword there. That could definitely be a problem. Kira holding his headshot angle. Perfect timing by Meidenheim to pick that kill up. The Saints are going to have to move, though. 3 seconds. Blunt going to bring it to a 3v1. Diffuser is going down now, so they are going to buy that time bonus. But it is down to a 2v1. Meidenheim versus the world. And he is good.
Headshot, that's all you need with all these angles being held. Exactly what's going to happen. Meidenheim has just been so sure with those shots thus far. Look at this angle. Just... you get
I thought they nerfed
glimpse.
this gun 3 years ago. It still does that, huh?
All right, the shot's going to come down. Not quite yet. There it is, 4v1. They got to look for this defuse right now, though.
Yeah, not needed. Kira finding 2 kills at the end there. Beautiful job by the Saints. They played it really, really close time-wise once more, and it always gets a little bit sticky when you're relying for that last few tries. Like a squeeze on Kennesaw. Air jab going to be dropping the stairs. Beautiful angle by Blanc, finding the swing on red there. And he's going to find that kill. Saints now with the early advantage. What are they able to do with it, though?
See, just sort of grouping up this time, playing together as a team, trying to find any sort of trades possible because they know they got that man advantage once again. Meidenheim, one of the 3 people who really popped off for the side of Kennesaw with Tronco, taking a couple of shots. You can see Blunt just fire anything that they can through on that angle. You see the alibi, exactly what it is.
Oh, beautiful.
Goodness.
Grenade. Oh.
Spot the one. You can see how many people have set up there. Oh. Shots.
Yeah, there's 1. Has 3 more to go here. And going to be taken out by Trongo. Saints, another beautiful attacking round. Finding that kill onto Xarin in the backside of that shield was honestly the catalyst. He was basically locking down that entire room for the last 3 or 4 rounds of Saints.
Yeah, it's just going to be 5v1. It is only Spookito. Is Zerky even going to get rezzed up? The diffuser should be put down. Spookito looking for the shots. Able to find another one there. Down to the sidearm, though. Will they be able to clutch it out? No, that will not be the case, and Saints going to be able to take map 1.
Yeah, they told Spookito, Halloween was last week, brother. You're not pulling that one in a 5v1. They are going to shut that one down. Saints, beautiful job. Exactly what really stack up these rounds.
And you can just see sort of the angles being held here. Satera trying to find anything that they can, but 4v2 situation. At the same time, it's all about these numbers. Satera with that diffuser. What's going to happen? They're getting burned down here just a little bit by the environmental teams. But look at that. Flipping around, 2 kills on their own, looking for a little bit more, but Zerky going to be able to Satera back up behind Hyde and immediately going to go down. Spookito as well, all in a row. Nezzy on a triple kill here. My goodness, it's down to 1.
Nezzy finds 4 in the flawless. Wow, when it was seemingly not going to be a play, he's going to pop off in this kitchen, in this freezer area. 4 members of Kennesaw are going to fall on the sword there. That could definitely be a problem. Kira holding his headshot angle. Perfect timing by Meidenheim to pick that kill up. The Saints are going to have to move, though. 3 seconds. Blunt going to bring it to a 3v1. Diffuser is going down now, so they are going to buy that time bonus. But it is down to a 2v1. Meidenheim versus the world. And he is good.
Headshot, that's all you need with all these angles being held. Exactly what's going to happen. Meidenheim has just been so sure with those shots thus far. Look at this angle. Just
I thought they nerfed this gun 3 years ago. It still does that, huh?
All right, the shot's going to come down. Not quite yet. There it is, 4v1. They got to look for this defuse right now, though.
Yeah, not needed. Kira finding 2 kills at the end there. Beautiful job by the Saints. They played it really, really close time-wise once more, and it always gets a little bit sticky when you're relying for that last few tries. Like a squeeze on Kennesaw. Air jab going to be dropping the stairs. Beautiful angle by Blanc, finding the swing on red there. And he's going to find that kill. Saints now with the early advantage. What are they able to do with it, though?
See, just sort of grouping up this time, playing together as a team, trying to find any sort of trades possible because they know they got that man advantage once again. Meidenheim, one of the 3 people who really popped off for the side of Kennesaw with Tronco, taking a couple of shots. You can see Blanc just fire anything that they can through on that angle. You see the alibi, exactly what it is.
Oh, beautiful.
Goodness.
Grenade.
Oh. You can see how many people have set up there. Shots.
Yeah, there's 1. Has 3 more to go here. And going to be taken out by Trongo. Saints, another beautiful attacking round. Finding that kill onto Xarin in the backside of that shield was honestly the catalyst. He was basically locking down that entire room for the last 3 or 4 rounds of Saints.
Yeah, it's just going to be 5v1. It is only Spookito. Is Zerky even going to get rezzed up? The diffuser should be put down. Spookito looking for the shots. Able to find another one there. Down to the sidearm, though. Will they be able to clutch it out? No, that will not be the case, and Saints going to be able to take map 1.
Yeah, they told Spookito, Halloween was last week, brother. You're not pulling that one in a 5v1. They are going to shut that one down. Saints, beautiful job. Exactly what really stack up these rounds.
And you can just see sort of the angles being held here. Satera trying to find anything that they can, but 4v2 situation. At the same time, it's all about these numbers. Sapera with that diffuser, what's going to happen? They're getting burned down here just a little bit by the environmental teams. Well, look at that. Flipping around, 2 kills on their own, looking for a little bit more, but Zerky going to be able to shoot. Yeah, Sapera back up on hide and immediately going to go down. Spookito as well, all in a row. Nezzy on a triple kill here. My goodness, it's down to 1.
Nezzy finds 4 in the flawless. Wow, when it was seemingly not going to be a play, he's going to pop off in this kitchen, in this freezer area. 4 members of Kennesaw are going to fall on the sword there. That could definitely be a problem. Kira holding this headshot angle. Perfect timing by Maidenhide to pick that kill up. The Saints are going to have to move, though. 3 seconds. Blunt going to bring it to a 3v1. Diffuser is going down now, so they are going to buy that time bonus. But it is down to a 2v1. Maidenhide versus the world. And he is good.
Headshot. That's all you need with all these angles being held. Exactly what's going to happen. Maidenhide has just been so sure with those shots thus far. Look at this angle. Just...
I thought they nerfed this gun 3 years ago. It still does that, huh?
Alright, the shot's gonna come down. Not quite yet. There it is, 4v1. They gotta look for this defuse right now, though.
Yeah, not needed. Kira finding 2 kills at the end there. Beautiful job by the Saints. They played it really, really close time-wise once more, and it always gets a little bit sticky when you're relying for that last key, trying to start to put the squeeze on Kennesaw. Air jab going to be dropping the stairs. Beautiful angle by Blanc, finding the swing on red there. He's going to find that kill. Saints now with the early advantage. What are they able to do with it, though?
See, just sort of grouping up this time, playing together as a team, trying to find any sort of trades possible because they know they got that man advantage once again. Maidenhide, one of the 3 people who really popped off for the side of Kennesaw with Tronco, taking a couple of shots. You can see Blanc fire anything that they can do on that angle. You see the alibi, you know exactly what it is.
Oh, beautiful.
Goodness.
Grenade.
Great. Spot them. See how many people have set up there. Great shots.
Yeah, there's 1. Has 3 more to go here. And going to be taken out by Trongo.